So, Hare Krishna friends, as we all know that knowledge, knowledge or uh, the transcendental knowledge, you know, Vedas, Vedas is said to be the body of all knowledge. Vedas is said to be the body of all knowledge. And Vedas and Upanishads, Puranas are the Vedic histories. Samhitas are compilations by various exalted personalities. So, Bhagavad Gita, you know, Bhagavad Gita, as we all know, is the essence of all Vedic literature. Lord Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita itself that Vedanta Krit Ved Vid Chayevaham. Lord Krishna is the compiler, is the knower. He is the knower and compiler of all the Vedas, all the body of knowledge in that sense. So, Vedas are the body of knowledge. Not all the Vedic literatures are available in this age. Not all the Vedic literatures are available. Most of them were burnt during, Hindu-Muslim fights, and we all know that most of the Vedic literatures were burnt, and humanity, in that sense, or human beings, they are left with very less Vedic knowledge, and because of that only, Lord Shri Krishna, we all know that Lord Shri Krishna spoke this transcendental science of Bhagavad Gita to his friend Arjuna. Truly speaking, Lord Shri Krishna spoke the essence or summary of all Vedic literature to all humanity. Not only Arjunji, every living entity is his part and parcel, and he is the father, supreme father of every living entity. Being the supreme father of every living entity, he is naturally compassionate towards every living being. And for the benefit of every living being, for the benefit of every living, or for the every human being, or in that way, those who will be human beings in true sense will not harm even other living entities. So, Lord Krishna spoke this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita for the benefit of entire, for all the beings, for the benefit of entire, not only humanity, for entire creation, for entire world, even earth, for that matter, even everything has come from the conscious being, so everything is conscious in that way, is living. Even the mother earth, we think, oh, it's a matter revolving in the rotating in the space. No, she is also a personality. Anyways, all those things are not very easy to understand. So at the present moment, so Vedas, Lord Shri Krishna is the compiler of all the Vedas, and he is the knower of all the Vedas, and he is the compiler of all the Vedas, and Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedic literature. So let's start, assimilating some knowledge. Let's start reading. One can learn this knowledge by reading and by hearing from the mouth of a pure devotee. So, reading from Bhagavad Gita, let's start reading Bhagavad Gita with prayers. Let's start with some prayers so that our mind can become, in that way ready to acquire some, or to assimilate some good knowledge, some good wisdom from these books. So, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namaha Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, of course, by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ji ki jai ho. And reading from chapter 1st, Bhagavad Gita chapter 1st, observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Swami Srila Prabhupada. And various acharyas have named it. Observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And the very first and the most very famous verse of the Bhagavad Gita, Dhritrashtra vacha dharmkshetre kurukshetre samveta yusavaha mamaka pandavascheva kim akurvata sanjaya. The very first verse of the very first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Dhritrashtra vacha. Dhritrashtra said, O Sanjaya, after assembling the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do, being desirous to fight? So what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do, being desirous of fight? So Dhritarashtra is inquiring. Whom he is inquiring? He is inquiring his secretary, Sanjaya. We all know a little bit about Mahabharata. And we all know that Dhritarashtra was blind from childhood, from birth. And Sanjaya here, his secretary. So they both of them are seated. Where they are? They are in the palace at Hastinapur. And in the palace, they are discussing. Who is in the Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya. So Dhritarashtra cannot see, but Sanjaya is also there with Dhritarashtra in the palace. And how he could know about what is going on in the war, because 5,000 years, before 5,000 years there was no internet, there was no television for that matter. But Dhritarashtra is inquiring Sanjaya. Now we all have that knowledge, little bit understanding. We all have read, we all have heard that Sanjaya, he had a special power. By the mercy, by the grace of his spiritual master Srila Vyasadeva, he was bestowed with the energy or power to see, television. He was bestowed with television. He had the ability, or he had the capability, he had the ability to see, what was going on at a far distant place. Just by sitting at one place, he was able to see in his mind what is going on somewhere. And he is sitting, in the Mahabharata we can see that Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya is always sitting for the 18 days. He is sitting with Dhritarashtra, and he is constantly telling him what all is going on there, what all is happening. So this question, this verse is included in the Bhagavad Gita because it forms the foundation. It forms the foundation for Bhagavad Gita to be spoken, by the Supreme Lord. The verse, though it seems to be very simple in that way, one can say what is there, what is very, important in this verse. It's mere a question, Dhritarashtra is asking, O Sanjaya, after assembling the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do, being desirous to fight? So it is only a question, small, a very simple question. What's there in it? What's important? It is said that Swami Srila Prabhupada, he always praised the knowledge and wisdom of his spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrjakacharya Ashtrotrashat, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ji ki jai ho. So Swami Srila Prabhupada ji always praised the wisdom of his Guru Maharaj, and he said, in his he many a times he shared that his Guru Maharaj Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave discourses on Bhagavad Gita continuously for 3 months on this verse, this first verse of Bhagavad Gita, for 3 months. That much wisdom, or that much that many concepts, are there. And truly speaking, the Bhagavad Gita has come from the mouth of, and the Vedas, even so much knowledge, so much wisdom is there in the Bhagavad Gita, in each and every verse of Bhagavad Gita, that one can go on discussing, and even a lifetime will be very short in that way to understand all the concepts. And truly speaking, no one can. Only and only Lord Shri Krishna knows about all the concepts of Bhagavad Gita. The Supreme Lord, he is said to be, Swami Srila Prabhupada always used to say, one without a second. There is no one in this world who is who can be equal or greater than God. So, Anor Anyan Mahato Mahiyan, greater than the greatest. So this knowledge has come from Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita has come from the mouth of Supreme Lord. So in that way, nobody in that way can grasp or assimilate all the concepts of Bhagavad Gita in that. But yes, to the degree one will understand, to that degree he can benefit himself. To the degree one understands the concept of Bhagavad Gita or other Vedic literatures, Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita are the revealed scriptures. They are realized knowledge. They are not only knowledge, they are realized knowledge. So Sanjay is asking this question now, one can question, the brothers of a family, actually Pandavas and Kauravas, they all belong to the same family, Kuru dynasty, and same dynasty in that sense, and they are going to fight. So brothers are going to fight, and Dhritrashtra, in that way, he had, after the demise of after his younger brother, his beloved younger brother Pandu Maharaj passed away, it was the duty of Dhritrashtra to take care of his children, and was entrusted. So this duty was, this responsibility was entrusted to Dhritrashtra, and it was his duty to love them also as his own children. But this is the beginning of Kali Yuga. These are the symptoms of a man who is too much illusioned by the external energy of the Supreme Lord, Maya, which is also referred as Maya. So, it is said that Dhritarashtra was not blind. Dhritarashtra ji jo the, he was not blind only physically, he was even spiritually blind. And he always, from his from the very beginning, he knew that his sons were not very religious and were not virtuous, were not righteous. But still he always promoted them. Knowing well that the Pandavas are quite religious and virtuous, righteous. Still, he never in that way loved them by his heart, and It is he only who wanted actually that his sons should become, should get the kingdom. And Lord Shri Krishna, many people they say that Lord Shri Krishna is the one who is responsible for this ghastly, nasty war affair. But no, it is not like that. Lord Shri Krishna was always in that way. He tried his best. The Kauravas were very, very eager to fight. The Kauravas, the Pandavas, the Kauravas were very, very eager to kill the Pandavas. Duryodhana, in that sense, he tried a number of times. He tried to kill Bhima, he tried to kill Pandavas, in various ways. And they assaulted in that way. They, humiliated them many times. And so Dhritrashtra was well aware of all this, and he was very, very doubtful. He was very, very doubtful about the victory, of his children, of his sons, and that's why he is asking Sanjaya this question. Dharmkshetre Kurukshetre Samveta Yusavaha Mamaka Pandavaschava Kimakurvata Sanjaya. What did they do? He knew very well that they are assembled there for fighting, and he should be, he is not panic. Brothers are going to fight and they are going to kill each other. They have not assembled there for some competition or some sports. No, they have assembled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And Kurukshetra here, it is, Dhritrashtra is referring Kurukshetra as a place of Dharmkshetra. And in the purport, Swami Srila Prabhupada is explaining that the Kurukshetra was a place of pilgrimage. It was a place of holy place, and it was a place of pilgrimage, place of worship. Elsewhere, it is mentioned elsewhere in the Vedas as a place of worship, even for the denizens of heaven. So even the denizens of heaven, they used to come. What to speak of human beings at that place? That place was so religious in that way. And so Swami Srila Prabhupada, glorifying Gita, he says Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic science summarized in the Gita Mahatmya. It is widely read theistic science in the Gita Mahatmya, glorification of Gita. So in the Gita Mahatmya it is said, and it is a world famous book, we all know. People with faith in God, those who believe in God. Those who believe in God are called theists, and those who do not believe in God are called atheist. So this is the widely read Swami Srila Prabhupada theistic science of those who have, faith in God, or science of faith. Those who do not have faith in that way can rationally, if they study Bhagavad Gita, and Swami Srila Prabhupada here he is mentioning in the purport, he is saying one should read Bhagavad Gita scrutinizingly. So if one rationally, if one scrutinizingly, if one reads Bhagavad Gita in that way, and one should read Bhagavad Gita from a devotee of the Lord. Because the devotee is not materially, motivated. When a devotee recites Bhagavad Gita, he is not worried about, number of viewers. He is not worried about, he do not speak Bhagavad Gita for some material benefit. He speaks Bhagavad Gita just for the benefit of others. He speaks Bhagavad Gita as a matter of his duty for the Supreme Lord. So, Swami Srila Prabhupada, he is also saying that one should hear Bhagavad Gita, or one should try to understand Bhagavad Gita under the guidance of a pure devotee. And all of us know, and whole world, it has been proved that Swami Srila Prabhupada's, by his, Swami Srila Prabhupada's work and Swami Srila Prabhupada's, intentions And Swami Srila Prabhupada's devotion in that way is clear to the whole world, and all of us know, and he is an acharya. He is an acharya in the disciplic succession. Swami Srila Prabhupada is an acharya in the disciplic succession, Brahma Gaudiya Madhva disciplic succession. He is 32nd number acharya. He is an authentic, authorized acharya. He is an author, and he is a pure devotee of God, Lord Shri Krishna, and he has given, wonderful purports. And by reading these purports, by reading his books, by hearing his lectures, by hearing his conversations, and Swami Srila Prabhupada, he himself said n number of times, he said, I will not die, I will never die, I will always live through my books. I will always live through my books and you will utilize them. So Swami Srila Prabhupada's greatest contribution to this world, he has done the biggest philanthropic activity in that sense, to bring one near to God, to motivate one, to motivate one for adopting self-realization, God realization as one's prime goal in life, which actually scriptures say that is the biggest philanthropic work Swami Srila Prabhupada has done for the entire humanity at large. And his books are there, his lectures are there, and he is continuing to preach now also. And I request you all to read his books. We can discuss. When you will read, you will also discuss. Of this there is no doubt. When Shravanam Kirtanam, it is said, the more you will hear, the more you will discuss. So Shravanam Kirtanam. So because I have heard and I am hearing from him from past many years, so I am also developing that urge to discuss it with others. And I am also discussing it with these discussions, the path in my mind also becomes clear, and I hope that in your mind also, in mind of all those who are hearing me, it becomes clear. And they also, I request you all that it is also said that Divya Gyan Hida Prakashita, the real knowledge or the real transcendental knowledge, the Divya Gyan, our relationship with the Supreme Lord, or our eternal constitutional position, will be revealed, in our hearts. It will not by our own strength or by discussing it with, but it can, how we will get to know about that knowledge. That can happen when we take shelter of a genuine or a bona fide or an authorized spiritual master, and try to hear him and try to understand from him at that time, all this knowledge which is already there in the heart. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita. We become enlightened. Our heart become enlightened. It is in darkness because of some reason. It is said that we all are conditioned soul because of iksha, dvesha, and there are innumerable vices in the heart, because of which we are not able to see things very clearly. We are always illusioned by the Maya. And we will be able to see things as they are, or we will get enlightened from our heart when we will take shelter, or we will hear from a pure devotee of the Lord. And Swami Srila Prabhupada here, he is mentioning that Arjuna is very fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita directly from the Lord. But he is also saying that Arjuna, if someone is fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita in the line of disciplic succession without motivated interpretation, then he surpasses all studies of the Vedic wisdom and all scriptures of the world. So another very important point Swami Srila Prabhupada brings in here is motivated interpretations. So devotees of the Lord, they do not act in that way with some motivated personal interpretations, some personal motivations. They do not act with, they do not act with some personal motivations. And those who have given commentaries, on Bhagavad Gita, who are not devotees of Supreme Lord, have could have done, Of course, if we do not criticize anybody or allegate, so, but still there are chances that those who are personally motivated would have done that, would have spoken Bhagavad Gita with some, motivated, personal motivated intentions. But those who are devotees of God, like Swami Srila Prabhupada, they have not, they have spoken, they have not tried to change the knowledge in that way for some material benefits. Even the readers are requested, Swami Srila Prabhupada has requested that even the readers should not read Bhagavad Gita with some, personally, that by reading Bhagavad Gita I'll get some material benefit. So the reader should also not read Bhagavad Gita with that intention or motivation. Then one will not be able to understand the Bhagavad Gita in truth. It is said, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that this knowledge is actually Guhyam, Raj Vidya, Raj Guhyam. To Arjunji also Lord Shri Krishna says, Bhaktosi me sakha chayeti rahasyam hi etaduttam. So it is rahasya, it is Guhyam. It is not, one cannot by his own material or his mental strength, intellectual strength, one cannot understand Bhagavad Gita as it is. One cannot understand Bhagavad Gita as it is only by true intentions, only by pure intentions, only by true motives, one can truly understand the science or the the actual science of Bhagavad Gita, one can understand. So the topics, and Swami Srila Prabhupada is wonderful thing he is saying, that one will surpass all studies of Vedic wisdom and all scriptures of the world. If one, Swami Srila Prabhupada says, if someone is fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita in that line of disciplic succession without motivated interpretation, then he surpasses all studies of Vedic wisdom. One will find in the Bhagavad Gita all that is contained in other scriptures, but the reader will also find things which are not to be found elsewhere. The reader will also find things. One will find all that is contained in other scriptures, but the reader will also find things which are not to be found elsewhere. Reader will also find things which are not to be found elsewhere. So that much Bhagavad Gita, each and every verse has got immense knowledge, immense transcendental concepts in it. So Dhritrashtra here, he is doubtful. Why he is doubtful? Because he knows that Pandavas are righteous, Pandavas are virtuous, and his sons, headed by Kauravas, headed by his Duryodhana, are not righteous, and they are irreligious, and he always in that way tried to conceal he always tried to hide their irreligious activities from childhood, and in that way he is the only one who is responsible for this war. People may say that but he and his sons, led by Duryodhana, are the one who are responsible for this war. This inauspicious in that way. War is never auspicious, and both the parties are going to fight. Even hundreds of his sons have gone for fighting, and is he very confident that each and every son will be? So he is not a good father also in that sense. He just want victory at the cost of, for him, is this love? A father should have, so he do not love his own children, his own sons in true sense. What he loves is kingdom, what he loves is, moha. There is a difference between prema and moha. So, again, it's 30 minutes now, so I'll cut short little bit. So, the topics discussed by Dhritrashtra, so the principle of this, basic principle, forms the basic principle of this great philosophy. Now, this Dharmkshetra, now Dhritrashtra is doubtful also because of he referred this place as Dharmkshetra. So this place, as we discussed, it was a place of worship even for the denizens of heaven. And Dhritrashtra became very fearful about the influence of the holy place on the outcome of the battle. We all have experience of, when we go to a very sattvic, when we go to a very sattvic place, a place which is like a temple or in our house only, if we sit next to the temples or place of worship in our house, we see that our mind is peaceful and it always gives us positive thoughts, optimistic, the mind becomes optimistic. And when we go to some tamsik in that way, place filled with ignorance, materially spiritual ignorance, the place filled with spiritual ignorance, so that place do not give positive vibes. People, they say in the outside world, people, they talk about vibration, positive vibration and negative vibration. So Dhritrashtra was very, very fearful that because he wanted war. Why he is Dharmkshetra? Why Dharmkshetra, a place of pilgrimage, is making him feel uncomfortable? Is making him doubtful because somehow or other he wanted victory of his sons. But the place where the fight is happening, that place is a place of pilgrimage, Dharmkshetra. Then the sons of Pandavas are also righteous or virtuous. Then even Lord Shri Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who loves Dharma, was present on the side of Pandavas. And Swami Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants are taken out. So it is expected from the very beginning of these topics that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, so that vehicle is passing. 1 minute we will wait. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So let it pass. So Prabhupada, he is mentioning in the purport, he is saying he did not want a compromise between the cousins and the brothers. He did not want a compromise, and he wanted to be sure of the fate of his sons on the battlefield. And we were discussing here, it is said, as in the paddy field the unnecessary plants are taken out, so it is expected from the very beginning of these topics that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, where the father of religion Sri Krishna was present. The unwanted plants like Dhritrashtra's son. So Swami Srila Prabhupada is saying where the father of religion. So Lord Shri Krishna, Swami Srila Prabhupada is mentioning father of religion. It is also said in the Vedic literatures, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Lord Shri Krishna is the father of religion, and Swami Srila Prabhupada is mentioning it here in the purport, that what he is saying, field of Kurukshetra where the father of religion, Shri Krishna, was present. As in the paddy field, the unnecessary plants are taken out. So it is expected from the very beginning of these topics that in the religious field of Kurukshetra, where the father of religion Sri Krishna was present, the unwanted plants like Dhritrashtra's sons, Duryodhana and others would be wiped out, and the thoroughly religious person headed by Yudhishthira would be established by the Lord. This is the significance of the word Dharamkshetra and Kurukshetra, apart from their historical and Vedic importance. So wonderful purport, and that is the duty, Lord Supreme Krishna, Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, he says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. So the very first work, Lord comes with two purposes: to re-establish the religion, to re-establish the religious principles, to establish the dharma, to save the pious, to save his devotees, paritranaya sadhunam, to save gentlemen, sadhus are, Prabhupada has always said, sadhu means gentleman. So those who are gentle, those who are virtuous, those who are righteous, Lord takes up the responsibility. He being the Father, Supreme Father, and He is the Father of every living entity. He is the father of Yudhishthira, he is the father of Duryodhana, and the father has got the right to punish his miscreant sons. And so it is very clear, because the father was present on the side of father of religion. So Lord Krishna in that way is the father of religion, and he is father of every living entity and the father of all creation. That we will understand in the coming verses of Bhagavad Gita. But Swami Srila Prabhupada here is mentioning, because the father is present, father of the religion is present with the Pandavas, that means religion is present, religious. Pandavas are more religious. And as it is said, the famous proverb, Satyameva Jayate. In this world, the victory, the triumph, always truth only. The truth only is victorious in the end. So it is expected. So the video is now becoming long. My eyes are always, in that way is going again and again on the time. So we will discuss more in our coming episodes, and we will take up more verses from Bhagavad Gita. But of course, I would request you, truly speaking, the enjoyment, the learning which you will get by your self-study, self-study, it is always in that way. So by the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, or the realizations, what you will get by studying Bhagavad Gita or hearing it from Swami Srila Prabhupada, that will be, far better than what you will get by our discussions. Through these discussions, these discussions, my motive is that I may get inspired to read Swami Srila Prabhupada's book more and more, and I request you all also to read his book Shravanam Kirtanam. The more we will read, the more we will understand, the more we will also like to discuss it with others. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam, and it is also recommended that one should chant the holy name of the Supreme Lord, in with purity, with devotion, with love and devotion every day. And Swami Srila Prabhupada has requested each one of us to at least chant for 2 hours, 16 rounds, minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, with a prayer to Lord Chaitanya, before Lord Chaitanya and the Panchtattva who gave, the humanity. These we will discuss about all these things in our coming episodes and other videos. So till then, take care and try to read, try to deliberate, try to think on this subject matter. And Bhagavad Gita as it is, it is available in all at various places. Even it is available online. You can get a hard copy of this book, or you can even download. But I request to, as much as possible, if you can read a hard book, you can read from a book. It is much better to save our eyes. But I also make videos of low quality in that way, so that you do not pay much attention on the video, the photograph. You just keep up your device at a distance, and if you like, you hear me. If you like, if you find my words valuable in some aspects, then you can hear me. And by these discussions, I pray to the Supreme Lord, may it benefit all those who, including me, may it benefit everyone, those who hear this. So with this, I would like to stop here, and with thanks, all glories to Abhay Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta, Swami Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai. All glories to Granth Bhagavad Gita. All glories to Holy Name. All glories to Lord Chaitanya. All glories to Swami Srila Prabhupada. We will discuss more in our coming episodes. Till then, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.